main event in the amateur MMA bouts here tonight at Valor Fights 28 at Camp Jordan Arena in Chattanooga features James Bruce Leroy Dixon out of Atlanta, Georgia, taking on Corey Bolden, who is 2-0 out of Oglethorpe, Georgia. This will be a lightweight bout at 155 pounds presented by Anthem Athletics. All right, we're ready for our fighter introductions. Back to the cage and Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is your headlining amateur bout tonight at Valor Fights 28, and it will be to determine a #1 contender in the Valor lightweight division, brought to you by Anthem Athletics. At this time, please welcome, fighting out of the Hogs red corner, James Dixon.
James Bruce Leroy Dixon is 1-1. He fights out of Atlanta Martial Arts Center in Atlanta, Georgia. And Casey, tell us a little bit about James Dixon.
Man, I mean, look at this guy.
Nice.
I mean, he's got the yellow on. He's kind of looking like Bruce Lee, but it's a newfangled way. It's Halloween night, and he's bringing it out here. But, you know, like you said, he wanted to be Bruce Lee or a Power Ranger. What can you say? You know, he's got it all. He's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, brown belt in Wing Chun, level 5 in Eric Paulson CSW, which is a very old school style of training. Eric Paulson, he's old school. He was one of the founders of mixed martial arts in America. You know, Jeet Kune Do, he's done it all. And, you know, it's really cool to see a flashy fighter like this, you know, with this pedigree come out and hope to delight the fans, because he's in tough against Corey Bolden tonight.
James Dixon, who you see there, interesting, he said 2 years ago he would never be in a cage fight, yet here he is in the main event of our amateur portion of the card here tonight. He says, I'm just having fun right now. When I'm having fun, I'm happy, and a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. He should be fun to watch, flashy, and he will oppose Crawford Corey Bolden. What do you think about Corey Bolden, his opponent?
He's a tough guy, you know. I mean, he's a little bit older, but he doesn't look the part. You know, he has it all. That's a guy that trains with Ian Stevens from The Ultimate Fighter. And, of course, the main event tonight, Sid Wheeler. The dude can do it all. Spin kicks, tough mentality, hard to finish, mean streak. Everything that it takes to be a winner in the cage.
Dixon is in the cage and circling. Back to Cody Gwynn.
Please welcome his opponent, fighting out of the OEB blue corner, Corey Bolden.
So Crawford Corey Bolden is the opponent for James Dixon, and regular sparring partner with tough man vet. You mentioned Ian Steffens and also Sid Wheeler, who is in the main event.
We know tonight. Ian Stevens, tremendous wrestler, man. Tremendous wrestling pedigree. And, you know, he was on The Ultimate Fighter, did excellent on that in that run. And so if you're getting mixed up by those two guys, you know, you're going to be pretty mentally tough to keep coming back for more. And you know, Bolden, one of my favorites to watch here. Always a tough fight. And, you know, he's fighting a wild card here in Dixon.
Take a look at the tail of the tape between James Dixon and Corey Bolden. Dixon at 1-1, Bolden at 2-0. You see the age difference there. Dixon 10 years younger than Corey Bolden, and the height difference, Dixon 2 inches taller, and then the weight virtually is the same between these two. Crawford, Corey Bolden, a mean streak. Going to be hard to finish. Good with the spin kicks today. So you see, we've already seen the athleticism on display and the flashy aspect of James Dixon, and we can see some spin kicks from Bolden. This could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know, and Bolden, he's not used to losing here. Of course, victories in his last 2 fights. Of course, one unanimous decision win over Michael Bartlett, and then Anthony Breyer, a 6 stoppage in the second round. So, you know, he's here to win. But, you know, again, Dixon, you know, coming off of a win of his own with an armbar. So, you know, like I said, it's the wild card that meeting the monster grinder.
Dixon's only loss was to Kyle Jones. That was back in 2013, a unanimous decision loss. as it went the distance with Dixon and Jones. But since the win over Joel Gordon, even the record for James Dixon, that was via submission armbar in the second round. All right, Bolden is in the cage. Here is Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your headlining amateur bout tonight at Valor 28. It will be to determine a number 1 contender in the Valor lightweight division, brought to you by Anthem Athletics. When the action begins, your referee in charge of this bout is Josh Ward. Introducing first, fighting out of the Hogs red corner. He enters the cage tonight with a record 1 win with 1 defeat. He weighed in 156 pounds, fighting at Atlanta Martial Arts Center in Atlanta, Georgia. James Bruce Leroy Dixon. Standing across the cage tonight, fighting out of the OEB blue corner with an undefeated record of 2 wins with no defeats. He would end 157 pounds, fighting out of Blaylock's IMB in Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, Corey Bolden.
Josh Ward, our referee for this bout. Our main amateur MMA main event presented by Anthem Athletics. James Dixon out of Atlanta in the yellow shorts taking on Corey Bolden in the gray, black, and white. 3-minute rounds for the number 1 contender spot in the lightweight division.
Two distinctly different demeanors. You see Dixon again, very fun-loving and whatnot. Corey Bolden's all business, man. He is a serious, tough guy. He comes to fight. He wants to hurt you.
Bolden, when he was stretching in his corner before the start, big kick from Bolden. Nearly did the split just stretching, which is very impressive.
Yeah, Bolden's very refined, and we saw him, the last time. He can come out of nowhere and do a lot of destruction, hurt people bad. And, he has the ability to go, 3 strong. He has no problems going the distance, but he does love to finish fights.
I don't think we've seen a punch yet. It's all been kicks.
No, did you see that chamber out of Dixon right before he threw that right kick? Very, very quick hips.
Bolden showed the switch, but the spin kick, but didn't unleash it. Feint with the left, fake front kick, and there's a front kick returned by Dixon.
Yeah, Dixon definitely faster here, but is the power? Where is the power there? That's one thing we don't know yet. With Bolden, we know the power's there, but is he going to be quick enough to make it land and do something with it?
Again, Bolden showing the spin, but didn't throw it. They exchange kicks. Dixon moving forward more than Bolden.
Lots of footwork in this bout.
Yep. Missed on the kick, but Dixon got his balance back. Still have not seen very many punches connect.
Wow, beautiful. Beautiful combinations there, right to the back of the leg. He spins back and then lands that second right kick. Those hurt, too. You hit the back of the hamstring like that. But Corey Bolden used to being kicked by the likes of Sid Wheeler and Ian Stevens, getting slammed by Ian Stevens.
Under a minute left to go here in round number 1. Catch of the leg, and then Dixon throws him back, lands a right.
Beautiful work there. I think that, Dixon's keeping that range and, with his height and reach advantage there, and it's making it difficult, like you said, to land the punches of Corey Bolden.
Dixon is quick. Boy, he can get out of range in a hurry. And Bolden's had a hard time really connecting with any punches to Dixon.
Bolden, he's a very patient fighter. He's in there and he takes his time and he knows the power's there. He knows that the timing's there. He's biding his time. I don't know though. The time is ticking away here in round 1. Not much time left for him to make his move because it may be Dixon walking away with this first round.
Final seconds of round number 1. Nice connect. Ooh, and I think Bolden might have taken a low blow right at the end of that first round. Dixon apologizing. And that's round 1 in the books. Who would you give that to, Dixon?
I'm going to give it to Dixon. Bolden, he was refined. He was doing what he does, but Dixon moving around a lot, landing a lot of shots. I saw a lot of great athleticism out of him, especially that little spit back, reverse spin kick to the leg kick to the hamstring. That was a really nice move.
Does the speed and quickness of Dixon look like it's a problem right now for Bolden in any way?
Well, I mean, that's the first round. You know, that could be a feeling out process. Corey Bolden's known for being patient and feeling out his opponents. So I don't think there's a problem here yet. It may, you know, come down to that Corey Bolden's just going to have to tuck his chin, go in low, go body head, and mix it up and force it. You know how James Dixon deals with that. You know that's going to be the telling factor.
In the corner between rounds, Bolden was on the stool. Dixon was standing up. Josh Ward sees the door close, and we're underway. They touch gloves. Round number 2, 3-minute rounds. Dixon in the yellow, Bolden in the gray, black.
Oh, nice, beautiful.
Quick.
And again, very smart of Dixon, not moving in and catching any of the heat of Corey Bolden, and that's really what he needs to do. He needs to get in and get out, because if he does get inside and mix it up, Corey Bolden can knock you flat on your face.
And that's where, if he doesn't have the power, that could come into play as well, right?
Right.
We don't know that yet.
We don't know if he does or if he doesn't. I mean, I'm sure that his strikes are stinging. I mean, otherwise Corey'd already be in his face, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Bolden, very calculated. He was biding his time, and he landed a beautiful right hand right there.
That was the cleanest shot of the fight so far for Bolden on Dixon.
Now the question is, can he continue to do it? Because one of those is not enough to win the round.
Dixon feigning with the jab. Faking the kick from Dixon. How's Dixon doing in terms of cutting off?
Oh, he's
Bolden?
great.
Oh,
He's
wow.
great, and I know that those sting. Those hurt. You know, that triple kick. You know, that's a traditional martial arts kind of style right there. That's not Thai that you're, you know, that's so popularized in MMA right now. And man, he has landed some serious shots here on Bolden. He's actually rocked him there, I think, perhaps.
Yeah, I agree with you, Casey. And now the onslaught.
Yeah, he needs. But I will say this, Dixon. You know, he smells blood. He needs to watch though, because one shot, Bolden can put you on Dream Street
from close range.
Yeah, and that's something he needs to watch. You know, that outside range is beautiful for Dixon. He maintains that, then he controls the fight.
Yeah, he's continuing to score with those at this range for sure. As we near.
Looks like Bolden might be busted open here.
Yep. Under the left eye.
Yeah, at least it's under the left eye, not over the eye, so the drainage is not impairing his vision, at least momentarily.
Excuse me, Casey. Minute left to go here in round number 2. Oh, nice stick of that jab from Dixon.
And again, if you're Dixon, you don't want to become complacent, man, because Corey Bolden is still extremely dangerous here.
Bolden hasn't been able to connect with a spin kick.
I'm interested to see, if Corey Bolden's going to look for that takedown and maybe try himself on the ground. You know, he's not faring well right now, and he's cut, and he continues to take more abuse to that left eye. He needs to do something here.
Beautiful combination from Dixon. Very impressive. And that front leg of Bolden is taking some punishment.
And what makes Dixon so effective here is the combination. He's not throwing one or two. Every once in a while he will, but for the most part he's throwing 2s, 3s, and 4s, and it makes it extremely difficult to counter.
Final seconds of round number 2 of 3 here at Valor Fights 28 in this lightweight bout, and
Mark's going to be all over that eye. He's going to be taking a look at that because that's pretty gross there. Hopefully it's not enough to end the bout, to stop it. I don't believe it will be. It's just a huge mouse that looks like it's been busted open, but man, they're going to have to look at that.
And Mark Law is the best, and that's the guy you want working on that. Man, it is not only cut, but swelling as well. That's a bad combo, but at least you're right, it is not impairing the vision.
Sure.
And so 2 rounds to nothing for Dixon.
Yeah, absolutely, man. First round, Dixon just simply put in more work. I don't think he caused much damage to Corey Bolden in the first. Second round, he opened up a little bit more, and now there's trouble in paradise, meaning the hometown favorite Corey Bolden he's in a real fight here, and you can see it right there in the replay. He was hurt, and that may have been the shot that busted him open. Again, in his corner, they may be suggesting, hey, let's do what it takes to get inside. Let's see if we can get a takedown, and let's see what you can do there. Maybe look for the finish and for possibly submission.
Round 3 is underway. Touch of gloves, and Dixon is on the attack right out of the gate.
It's just he's got Bolden on his heels so much, and I don't.
Bolden says he took a low blow. I didn't really see it. I thought it was the side of the leg. But
Drawing the foul here.
maybe it did sneak in or grazed him perhaps. Bolden's going to get some time here. 5 minutes. Just those kicks are just coming so quick, though, from Dixon.
I'll tell you that 5 minutes might be something he needs, to reassess and set him up. But as he recovers, so does Dixon.
Yeah.
And Dixon's up on his toes, man. He's been moving nonstop. This guy is in shape. He's athletic. He's fast. He truly lives up to the moniker of Bruce Leroy here.
Can it get you out of your groove, though, if you have an extended low blow stop? If you're just really in a nice rhythm, you're warm, and then to slow down for a number of minutes?
Absolutely. Anytime that you have a lull in the action, you have a break, it changes everything. I think it even changes, the factors of the fight whenever you have a takedown and you're on top and then you get stood up. Any kind of break in your momentum adjusts things. Now, whether, Corey Bolden can take advantage of that, that's yet to be seen.
So, Josh Ward, our referee, giving Corey Bolden allotted time here, and Bolden is taking it. Meantime, Dixon paces, trying to stay warm. Dixon apologizes to him from across the cage. And we'll see how this impacts the fight on the other end. Along with Casey Oxendine, I am Vince Ferrar. Valor Fights 28 in this amateur MMA main event presented by Anthem Athletics. Number one contender bout. It's been Dixon, who seemingly has been in control. Well, has been in control, but what you would think would be ahead on the scorecards. 3 3-minute rounds, and we're midway through, a little bit less than midway through round number 2.
Now, you got to keep in mind, Dixon's last loss was in 2013.
Yeah.
That was August 2013, so that's more than 2 years ago.
Yep.
So much growth in a young man that can take place during that time. And, we're seeing it here. I mean, this kid has really blossomed into a serious mixed martial artist. And, Bolden, he's worse for the wear right now, man. He's cut, he's busted up. Is he going to be able to have what it takes to come back and secure this fight? And in my opinion, he's going to have to buckle down. He's going to have to tuck his chin. He's going to have to take 1 or 2 of those hard shots and then, wing it and maybe get it to the ground and finish it there.
It's a long delay. You don't often see fighters take the full 5, and Bolden may be taking the full 5 while it's there.
It's a sport, and the rules of the sport are what they are. And if he deems it necessary, then he's going to take them, and he's going to allow this to play out as it in his best interest. And rightly so.
Yeah.
Rightly so. You don't know what he's feeling. If he got rocked pretty hard there, he wants to make sure that he doesn't get that stomach ache. A lot of guys will get rocked and then they'll step right up there, and all of a sudden you get that stomach ache.
Crowd getting back into it. James Dixon from Atlanta can feel it. They are in his corner here in this bout, and Josh Ward restarts us, and we're back underway here in round number 2 of 3.
All right. Bolden sensing that he must push forward.
Well, it's Dixon doing so right now. And Bolden has not been able to connect with any variation of kicks, not many of them at least. Dixon in the yellow, Bolden in the gray, white, and black. Midway through round number 2. No one's really let their hands go here in round number 2 yet. A lot of feigning.
Dixon's been absolutely sharp shooting that left leg, outside leg of Corey Bolden there. Very good with that kick, and I'm sure it stings every single time he lands it.
And he's done so from both sides. Inside kicks, outside, I mean, he's peppered it regularly. You can see the redness over the knee as well.
And it's stuff like that. You know, every time Bolden throws, Dixon counters back, and it makes you think twice before extending those strikes out.
Casey, really impressive the composure of Dixon. Not, as you have talked about, not overextending himself, putting himself in harm's way, but still being effective and aggressive.
Well, just watch the footwork. You know, we're right here. I mean, their feet. There's a reason that the cage is as high as it is because the footwork is the start of all the action that's inside the cage, and James Dixon is proving that he's a master of that. Again, he seemed to hurt himself there. I don't know. I couldn't see from this vantage point. Was there a check? But Bolden sensed it too.
Can you maybe catch it on the bone in the right spot?
It might have been, and I couldn't see from this vantage point if Corey Bolden lifted his leg and checked that kick, but it definitely numbed up Dixon's left ankle for a moment.
The bleeding has stopped in the cut and bruising underneath the eye of Bolden.
Yeah, I don't believe it's going to be a factor here, but what is a factor is that, you know, Bolden is down, 2 rounds to nothing and going on a third round here, and he's going to lose this fight 30-27 if he doesn't move quickly.
His hands are down as well.
And you can see Bolden still limping on that leg. I'm sorry, Dixon. Limping on that leg where he landed that kick.
Flurry from Dixon in the final seconds of round number 2. And then Dixon gets out of the way to prevent a return.
What a fight, man. And truly, what a great performance by James Bruce Leroy Dixon. He lived up to his moniker tonight over a very, very tough Crawford Corey Bolden. It's somewhat surprising, to be truthfully honest, for Dixon to come into to Bolden's home territory and have that sort of performance.
Yeah, what a performance. Like I said, round number 2 is where we were at. Round number 3, I apologize. Dixon was up 2 rounds to none going in, and boy, what a job by James Dixon. It looks like he's going to get the win.
Round 1, I mean, there is an argument that could be made for Corey Bolden. It's the closest round of the 3, but rounds 2 and 3 are undoubtedly James Dixon's, and honestly, I would have given the first round to him as well. Yeah. I probably look to see 2 judges go 30-27, maybe 1 judge go 29-28, possibly.
I would be surprised if it's other than 30-27.
Yeah.
But we're not always on the same page.
No,
with
and
our judges,
yeah, I mean, we've seen fights go completely the other direction. I don't see it happening here, though. I think it's pretty cut and dried.
Our judges: Thomas Brooks, James Lyles, and Neil Frawworth. All right,
ladies
official
and gentlemen,
decision
after
is
3
Cody
rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecard for decision. Judges scored this bout 30-27, 29-28, and 30-27, all for your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, James Bruce Leroy Dixon.